the same thing here. I think it's fine. Gives them 2 options. Centaur's just safe. Had a little bit of trouble last game getting as much farm as the Slardar did, but...
Was it the same? I didn't see the order of the last game, but was it first pick for LFY?
Yeah,
well?
no, it was first pick for OG last time. They went Centaur first pick, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then OG might do something different, but they could go the same. I know S4 likes Centaur a lot.
Seems pretty comfortable on it.
The other Centaur.
Instead, we'll do Magnus.
The other Centaur, Magnus. Plenty of S4 on that, of course.
So maybe they'll consider grabbing their melee core right now. That way what they want doesn't get banned.
Or Coddle.
Oh, that could work too. They got banned second phase last time.
Yeah, did get banned second.
Yeah, OG's got to be feeling pretty comfortable, though. I feel like just pick one of the support heroes and either... I mean, Lena's nice because they can play it as support or they can play it as a core.
Yeah. Yeah, we were making that point in the first game, weren't we, Kevin? It's a nice second pick in a way, isn't it? Because it leaves it open, keeps the other team guessing, and they're already comfortable either way.
If teams are comfortable with it, I mean, the minus 30 respawn second at 10 is really nice for supports as well as cores. I think Lion also has a respawn.
Yeah, it's like 25 or 30, about the same.
Yeah, like...
But not getting picked at all.
No. Well, I think it's interesting that he's a core because he gets level 10 so much faster. But I think Lion is cool too. I think Lion's probably a little underrated. The hero's not bad. It's just the respawn duration thing is amazing because you just like die in fights and you have like at level 10 you have like a couple second respawn, which is just absurd. And it's like a lot of times you'll hit that timing as a support. You'll hit level 10. It's like time people start going to Roshan kind of a thing. So you just like have 2 lives.
Usually I just use it to feed more rapidly, but...
Well, it's multifaceted. You could use it in a lot of different ways, which, he's a very versatile hero in that regard.
Yeah. Only downside is his laning's a lot worse. Lion definitely has some issues there.
So we've got the Legion Commander this time around, so we have changed things up for LFY.
Yeah, not team fight though.
Nope.
So there's their 3 and 4 for the game, I would imagine. So we'll have to see if they decide to bolster that Legion Commander initiation with some team fight.
Ooh, so the Elk gets banned this time.
I think that's fair.
It's not a bad idea.
Elk's kind of hard to kill in duels in some cases anyways, so just make him do regular course.
Alchemist is just a terrifying hero.
Yeah, it just changes your game plan so much. You have to like adjust everything you're doing to beat him. So I feel like with Legion Monkey King, LGD can do like roaming duel lanes or just strong 1v1 matchups. I think it opens up their laning stage in a lot of good ways.
Wonder if we could see kind of like that Legion Commander Silencer combination.
Saw that yesterday, didn't we? Who was that? Who played that yesterday?
We saw Legion Commander on one of the IG teams. I could be.
There was someone.
I could be so wrong.
Someone
right
played
now.
the Silencer. I can't remember if they played with the LC as well, but
we saw a couple of Silencers and we saw a couple of LCs. So
yeah, I can't remember whether we saw them in the same game.
Yeah, it's a very similar combo to Batrider. Like we see in the past, we've seen a lot of Batrider and Silencers. It's kind of a scary combo, especially when you're dealing with like defensive supports.
So OG must know what they already want to combo with the Magnus with the Jug ban. Wonder if they'll take it here. What's a melee core good against Legion? Lifestealer, I guess?
Melee hero that lanes well versus Legion.
I wouldn't say it lanes super well, but...
Lifestealer's fine. It's not bad. Probably maybe stay away from the Terrorblade. You got no illusion hero. Perhaps.
Yeah. What about like Troll or something like that?
They could do Troll. I'm not sure. I think No Tail's gonna kind of get his pick of the litter. So he's gonna be able to just say like, Fly's gonna be like, hey, what hero do you want to play? What melee hero do you want to play? And Fly, or No Tail's gonna kind of just say whatever he wants. Probably not an illusion hero. Maybe like that's what I would kind of stay away from against Legion. So we might not see that No Tail PL, which is something he's played a lot in the past. Probably no Terrorblade.
I'm just glad that we don't have Malini over here. Otherwise, he'd be flipping out again as soon as you mention PL.
He was trashing PL. Says he's one of the worst heroes. I kind of agree with him right now.
I don't think he's great, but regardless, I know it's a no-till hero, and I feel like OG's in a position where they can. Well, there you go, a nice prediction. But I feel like OG's in a position where they can kind of get a little creative and pick whatever they want to play.
I figured Troll was likely just because he's a little bit tankier than some of the other melee cores. He's got blind. That way, So he's got some solutions against Legion, throwing a little bit of lifesteal and bashing Legion. I feel like it's okay if you get dueled. It's not the worst. Whereas like TB, you have to Sunder to stay alive. Ember Spirit's kind of scary. Think
So
heroes like that.
Do you think Lina will be a support then, or do you think it's?
I don't think it's predetermined just yet.
Okay.
Personally.
Because like the troll ult kind of doesn't synergize perfectly well with Lina because she already gets so much attack speed from her fervor.
Yeah. Fiery Soul. Fervor is Troll's attack speed.
Gotcha.
With that said, though, I mean, with her stun duration and burst damage, it's fine. Like, yeah, it doesn't stack amazing. You're not going to buy a damage item on Lina, but I mean, the combo here was Empower with melee hero. Doesn't get much more deep than that.
Her spirit's banned. What could we have for Jerax? Tusk?
Could work. You know what's really disappointing? That Troll Warlord, the guy that fights with axes, can't cut down trees with his skills. That just doesn't make sense. Whirling axes, they spin in a circle.
Yeah.
Should just cut trees.
Okay, so there's Disruptor. That's some of the team fight we thought they were missing in the last game. So I like that pick. It's not too bad against Magnus.
Yeah, Empire showed that Disruptor's good.
Okay.
Can be
We'll
used
go
well.
Tusk.
Yeah.
And
In no way was that a prediction. It was more so just like, I'd like to see him play Tusk.
Okay.
So don't give me credit for that.
It's been getting a little popular the last day or so.
Yeah,
we didn't
just
say day
today,
one, but today
actually.
we've seen
Yeah,
it.
today. It's
Done a
just
couple.
I think you
started
can
to
roll.
creep
I
in.
think you can roll through Disruptor All and grab everyone inside, right?
Yeah, you should be able to. So
That's not the hardest thing to execute, right?
well, there's got to be something on the
not
other
for him.
side. You have to not be in the silence. It has to be the right time to do it. Yeah, it could work. Actually, the best part is probably Snowball against Duel, really. Just like stand next to him, cast Snowball, pull him in, hold him there for 3. It's a little bursty too. It's good against Disruptor, pretty good against Monkey King, I would say.
Morphling, okay. Troll's not super great versus Morphling.
Yeah, I would agree. Not burst heavy enough. He can escape. Pretty good against RP too. If he gets RP'd, he just starts morphing. As long as he survives through the RP, should be able to get out in most cases.
I wonder if we're gonna see any kind of replicate combo for the Morphling side.
Really, you think they're gonna do some like theory-crafted thing?
Well, I mean, I just think the hero gains a lot more strength when there's a replicate target for him. In the past, we've seen Morphlings up against Alchemists or Nagas or someone like with the Radiance, or we've seen Morphlings paired with Axe, which helped the Morphling farm a lot more. I don't think an Axe would fit too well into their lineup.
I just feel like they respect the hero enough, just what its base merits are, that they'll just go for just Morphling by himself.
Sure.
If it was a Western team, I would maybe agree with you, but I feel like the Chinese teams are more likely just to grab it based on merit.
Yeah, I haven't seen the hero picked up that much. I guess from like on the Western side, just seems like a hero that's not incredibly strong right now, or at least like not at like the upper echelon of carries.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it touched at all by Western teams. It's all been Chinese teams so far that picked it.
Any comment on the 5th ban for OG?
Sniper ban.
Yeah.
Sniper.
Pretty good versus Lina mid, so I would imagine they're trying
Just
to put
removing
Lina
the
mid.
threat.
Can make Blink heroes have a nightmare too base, so Magnus would maybe have some trouble initiating if he got caught out of position. They'd be able to abuse people with like limps too.
Back to Ember.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much I love it. I think that the mid lane is going to be an issue, right? Like Lina's going to free farm and just kind of walk all over Ember Spirit.
What about Monkey King though? Monkey King plus Ember versus Alina is so scary for Lina.
Perhaps. We're going to have Tusk there though too. So I think Tusk's roaming potential is a little bit better than Monkey King's, at least like sitting in a static lane.
Maybe once or two, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Level 1, I feel like Tusk is way worse.
We'll see. We'll have to watch that matchup throughout the game. See how Jerax and I think White is the Monkey King player. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how
So the coddling, I guess, for some vision on the Monkey King. It's worked in a couple of the matches that we've seen yesterday.
Surprised Coddle wasn't banned. That's a really strong hero for them.
Indeed. Okay, thanks to both of you. Of course, we will get more views from both PPD and Purge at the end of the match, but time now to head over to our commentary team, and I'll get it right this time. It is Lyricalist and Capital.
Thank you very much. I don't know, Peter, Paul. We'll do something. Peter, Paul, and Mary, all you guys over there.
is, of course, going to be game number 2, OG versus LFY. Cap, we saw a little bit of indecision, a little bit of hesitation from LFY in the last one. They kind of left a little bit out on the field of play. I'm sure they would want to take some of that back. How are you feeling about the second draft? Is Morphling sort of that alternative greedy pick that they were going to be able to take now?
I think it'll fit LFY better, right?
Yeah.
If they draw out the game, it's good for them this time around because they do have the Morphling, harder carry that they're looking at. OG do have some really great synergy, though. They, first of all, have this Lino, who's going to have a free matchup in mid. They've got the Magnus combined with Troll Warlord, which really speeds up his farm. He can do, like, Ancients and that sort of thing rather quickly. Right. And then I think the Keeper of the Light was sort of the linchpin. It feels very synergistic, and it has a couple of counters. For example, the Keeper of Light is great to have versus the Morphling to help burn through mana. The Blinding Light is very effective versus the Legion Commander. There were a couple other things I was thinking about during the draft, but I don't know. LFY's lineup just really doesn't click for me as well.
Yeah, it is a little bit clunky in there, but I do believe we're going to be hopping into the game now. Really excited to be seeing what happens. And the other thing, too, as I'm looking at the lineup and thinking about what we've seen throughout this tournament, it's been like a Coddle dual lane, and they still could potentially run that if they wanted to. You start spamming out Illuminate there with a Magnus, and then do that pull camp as well, the hard camp that we've talked about a lot during the other casts that we've seen. Do you think that's something that OG might be looking towards?
Possibly. They could start off doing that and leave the Troll alone against the Legion Commander. Because the thing is that they also want the Tusk kind of roaming into that mid lane because that's where the Monkey King is also going to be hanging out. So I'm not fully set on them doing the aggro dual lane like we've seen from other situations where you would have a different support sitting in the safe lane. It all depends on what they feel like is most beneficial, right? Is it more beneficial to get S4 that early lead and make sure he's able to have a good time in his off lane right away? Or is it better to try and shut out the Legion Commander and make sure there's nobody contesting No-Tail's safe lane Troll Warlord farm? If they put Tusk in the bottom lane, it does leave an opportunity where White can make the first blood happen on Lina and mid and get the Ember Spirit a critical advantage that he desperately needs in this matchup. He needs a support to rotate in to give him a little bit of a boost.
Yeah. No, and it feels like they're already a little bit set up, the Ember Spirit, to have some of that vision over the mid lane. You saw that ward that was up on the high ground. Also worth noting, over on the right-hand side, the cliff was sentryed by LFY, and that was a little bit of a bait out. There was a ward that was actually placed over on the high ground by the shrine. So nice little, mind games going on from OG as Tusk placed that ward and then was scouted after the fact. So
this mid ward is so cool.
Yeah.
We were here for WESG, and we were playing pubs at Land Cafe, and we discovered this ward. They were playing it. They kill a tree, and then they put it here. And right, if you look at the vision, it's really good. It covers over mid. It's also highly unlikely to be countered unless they notice that the tree has been cut down.
It doesn't block the camp, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't block the camp.
Wow.
It sits just on the outside of that, but it also covers, what I really like is it covers this little area right here, which is very common for supports who are making the rotation over, so they can get a little bit of an early warning. So I think it's just such a cool ward to lay down.
We'll see if it can help out here. Ana is going to be scouted out. Light Strike Array is going to connect, and Chain's actually really early aggression. They are going to die for this, super tanking the tower, and, well, he's going to fall, but I guess he draws first blood. LFY,
with his dying breath, he's like, worth it. First blood, baby.
They are not going to rest on their laurels this game. I feel like that's a statement death right there.
Yeah, I mean, I said that was like, if you put Jarex in the bottom lane, this is potentially what could happen, is that the first blood's going to go the way of mid because the Monkey King wants to be able to shut down this Lina, and Ember needs the extra help. And Ember is also a hero that really takes advantage of a support rotating in because he does have such good offensive power, even if the static laning phase is not to his favor. That being said, it's not the end of all worlds. I'm sure Jarex is going to be still rotating into mid lane at some point, and Lina is obviously another hero that if they can get that snowball Ice Shards block in. Nice block at bottom, though.
Yeah, onto G-Sing, trying to bring him
close.
down. This is going to be a good bit of damage. Jarex not quite going to be able to run him down as of yet, and they're actually going to find a kill on Ana again in the mid lane.
No.
So caught that right there with the little camera and camera. Also, we've been seeing some aggression that happened up in the top side, but this is going to be Jising using his shrine. They're actually going to think about diving further. There is no rest at all. People wanting to get aggro in this one.
Yeah, apparently poor Legion Commander can't even just chill out and farm because they want to shove her away from this big creep wave that came in, right? It had double creep, it had double range creeps, and it had probably like 6 melee creeps. That's a lot of experience. He went from not quite having level 2 to now being level 3, and it's actually going to be level 3.5 with this next wave coming in. They really wanted to shove him away, but there's only so much they can actually do.
Yeah, and I mean, taking a look at the CS across the board, it's relatively even. All of the players basically at the same points. The big thing is that Lena's maybe being a little bit further behind Super here in the mid, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal as long as they don't keep on diving in on the Monkey King. That's the big thing, is that the kills are still racking up,
Anna.
and Anna is not going to get any help. They've got the chains again in a second, are going to be able to dive this one. Does do a light strike array, breaking the flame guard, so Anna saving himself there.
Yeah, with that the early level of Sleight of Fist, maybe if he had Flame Guard, what would it be, 200 Magic Absorb, and then that would be, yeah, he would actually have 10 Magic Shell or whatever left on his Flame Guard, so he'd still have the damage over time available.
He did not hit that chains.
No,
so
he did not.
A little unfortunate there. Anna going to get away again. So, I mean, it's still been so much pressure there in the mid lane. Now S4 up top. It's just going to keep on being zoned, but not sure if they realize that Fly is in the area as well. They should, and Illuminate spam is going to continue.
Yeah, he's been here all laning phase, so I'm sure they do know. S4 is sitting at 7-4 plus another 3S. Oh, man.
Another kill down bottom.
They do manage to block him out just enough to be able to get that kill, so this is pretty much the lane that I expected to go quite well for S4. He's not actually getting quite as much as CS as I'd hoped, but it's just that the problem is Disruptor's such a poor laning hero, so it's pretty much kind of just a Morphling by himself. I imagine that Magnus, Keeper of the Light, is going to be very powerful.
Well, and you do have the Monkey King that's sort of stalking that top side now as well. They could try and make something with that, although it is going to be LPC going to pick up the Bounty Rune. Maybe now that they're going to bring back in the Disruptor, S4 possibly in a little bit of trouble. They're going to go with that slow for the moment. They do have another Boundless Strike if they want to use it, as well as, of course, the waveform forward. Kinetic Field's been dropped. S4 in a lot of trouble and out of mana, out of time, out of life.
Well, maybe Jarex can turn things around. Monet is not really the target because he still has that strength morph.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to run him down as of yet, at least.
Oh,
but
the blast?
Kinetic Field, it's really low, but it's not going to be enough to find the kill. Monet's still sticking around on such low HP, but they are going to be able to find that kill onto Jarex. And, well, Fly is still here as well. They can start life-stealing off of this if they want. OG continuing to dive for this. S4 has come back in, trying to bring down Monet. They do have another right-click, and that's going to be enough to find the kill. Double for S4.
LFY got a bit too greedy there. They've just been like content with the 2 kills that they got and just back away. S4, though, comes back in, cleans up 2 kills, is now level 4. We're reaching to level 5, almost has Arcane Boots as well. That was a huge win for him to be able to come back and get all that. OG have pretty much won 2 lanes. They've won their off lane, they've won their bottom lane. They're just kind of sacrificing Anna at mid as that Lina. And he's still not doing badly when it comes to CS. He's 24-1.
Absolutely. He's having himself a pretty fine game, particularly since there's been all this movement away from his lane now. The movement up there by the Monkey King has allowed him to stay even or even catch up a little bit on farm compared to Super and almost level 6. Do you think that he's going to start trying to get aggressive with that Laguna Blade up or just keep the threat of it there in lane and farm more?
Not sure. Fly? Yeah, he's dead. I think both these mid players want to be able to get aggressive. Is Hannah going to die again? Not again.
Seems very likely if Monkey King 6 round. White is actually going to head off towards the rest of the jungle. Wanted to secure himself a bounty rune, but isn't going to happen. And S4 in the meanwhile trying to break down and kill off this camp that he's stacked up. Actually, both of them are stacked.
I kind of think Super would love to make a rotation down to bottom lane as Jising gets his level 6 and they had the duel. It'd be a great play if they can actually make a rapid rotation over where they get aggressive on the Troll. Not just for the dual damage, but also being able to shut down No-Tail. Troll is a hero that does not farm particularly well. He's just a very strong laning phase hero and builds through constant of not dying, having some hero kills, and just always being able to have presence around lanes. So if they can actually, you know, kind of shut him down just a little bit, I think it would do wonders for their mid game.
Oh, LPC walking through. There's a little pass by Fly, and now going to try and start racking up the damage. Monet's still in the area, but Fly is not long for this world. Also going to get the Jingu stacks up now for White. So a very free lane for these supports. They could leave if they wanted to.
S4, part of the reason Coddle was alone in lane is that S4 is clearing through a big old stack right now. He's got the Arcane Boots and already another 750 gold, so they're going to give him a very fast Blink Dagger, it looks like. And he's also going to have very fast higher levels of Empower as well, thanks to all the experience that he's being granted. That Empower will then translate into more farm, faster farm for No Tail. So the synergy is pretty good for OG's lineup, but LFY are doing some things really well. I think they're rotating really well in their Monkey King. White's being a monster right now and keeping poor Ana down. Jizing is getting some okay farm in his offlane. It's obviously not going to compare to the Magnus, but it's more about him just getting what he needs.
Well, they're going to pull back in, Fly again, and waveform forward. A couple more right clicks. He is quite low off of that one, but no points in Adaptive Strike means Monet will not be able to find that kill. God, Kado's just so quick right now.
Yeah.
Oh, are they going to get that kill? Fly? There's the Boundless Strike. Nice pickup.
They're doing all right when it comes to the Disruptor's experience. That's something I usually try and keep an eye on because he's such a lackluster support until he gets level 6. So looks like mid. Ana's going to die again.
Well, they're trying to bring him down, and that is not going to end up happening. So low. They use that Boundless Strike on the Coddle, the long cooldown.
Yeah, they used the Glimpse earlier on the Coddle, and that also is a long cooldown, so that wasn't up either. So, damn, Ana, just by the skin of his teeth.
Very good. I mean, he needs to stay alive in these ones. So it's felt to me like OG are still in a really good spot here. They're getting the levels, getting their farms, and it's always going to be a threat. The Empower and, you know, combination that comes out from Magnus with an RP. It's scary stuff. A nice little pull here as well to get the stack on the Ancients. Doing a good job of maintaining the farming efficiency around the map, OG.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of okay with just farming up the lane, utilizing the jungle. It's just a question of what points does Super want to get aggressive. For mid Ember Spirits, you wait until the... Oh, he's actually going boots
All
first.
right. Well, and here's a duel down. They're going to be able to find this kill, so
Nice.
a little bit of dual damage there for the Legion Commander.
It's interesting. I really thought he was going to be going the Veil of Discord. He was going to be moving around aggressively with the Legion Commander and with the Monkey King and finding kills on this Ember Spirit, but he's actually going Boots of Travel first and focusing more on farm efficiency. And yes, I do think that they want to draw out the game, and split pushing with the Ember Spirit can buy a lot of space between him and the Morphling, but I do think that there is a certain point where you want to get aggressive with this Ember Spirit and make use of his heavy burst damage at 15 minutes. Maybe they don't feel comfortable fighting into OG, though, because OG do have a lineup that is very adept at fighting with the core Lina so early on. Like, that is one of the cores that's going to peak the earliest in this current meta. And Magnus is not too shabby thanks to all the extra farm he's gotten from the Keeper of the Light.
And talking about something the panel alluded to as well, the snowball saves from Jarex. You go in on one particular hero with a duel, and suddenly you're not going to be able to find that kill if he's in the correct spot. So could be tough there as well. In the meantime, OG continue the push out, spamming the wave with Illuminate. Coddle's going to keep getting himself farmed, but a snowball aggressively into Jising, but there's going to be the turnaround now. Shard's already out to try and block it off, but it's not going to end up mattering. They're onto the Troll Warlord, starting to drop low, and is going to be able to find that kill. Legion picking that one up.
Yeah, Jising, they already had the smoke rotation coming in from the Monkey King and Ember Spirit, so he was trying to put himself in a position where he was kind of baiting a little bit, trying to see if OG go on him. Sure enough, they oblige. They get a big kill on the Troll Warlord. First successful rotation of the Ember Spirit's a big one.
Nicely done. Monet still is going to farm too. And how scary is this hero in this type of game with no silences, basically?
Yeah, they need Ana That's part of the problem that I had with them not supporting Ana more, is I think Ana does need to have a really good game because he's one of the biggest threats to the Morphling. You get Bloodstone Shadowblade, and you could just pop out. You stay invis, and you lead with Light Strike Array. It's a great way to surprise a Morphling and quickly burst him down when he's trying to farm with high agility stacks. But still, though, maybe they just had faith that Ana was going to be able to make the comeback because he's really didn't miss too much of a beat. He's sitting at 4,200 gold, despite having died twice in his laning phase.
Yeah, and well, he's still going to be able to get in towards that Bloodstone at a decent clip. You do have a big rotation up here by OG, and it looks like Coddle trying to make sure that he secures that bounty rune, but Monkey King already in the area. Over by the other rune, it's Super again aggressive towards Jerax. He's going to try and go for the Remnant forward, able to dodge away from that Light Strike Ray, and they do find the kill onto that Tusk. White pump faked the ulti, but did not go for it in the end.
Let's see, the Disruptor, they do have their level 6. They have yet to use Static Storm. So I wouldn't even mind like another smoke play. Oh, they actually have an Invis rune for Super, so this is a great rotation behind the mid area.
They have a replicate too, so Monet is here. They're on to S4 already. Gonna jump forward onto him. Static Storm is down. This is going to be a kill now onto the Magnus, looking for more. There's gonna be the jump forward by the Ember, possibly. They don't even need to go for it. They're just gonna kill off Lina. So that's 2 cores down. LFY are looking great again.
I like that LPC played that very safe and threw out the Static Storm very early on the Magnus to make sure there wasn't some sort of RP or even just a skewer play from that Magnus. You know, locked them in, made sure they get that 1 kill, and then obviously with the positioning and the number of heroes that they had, they could just turn it into more thanks to the glimpse on Ana. So LFY's looking really strong. OG's main time, like, it's similar to the way LFY we're kind of looking at game number 1, is that their big peaks are going to be around 25, 30 minutes. So suffering pre-15 minutes is not the worst thing in the world for them. It does mean their mid game is going to come off to a little bit of a rocky start, though.
Yeah. Whoa, No-Tail taking that big old stack of Ancients, and this is certainly going to help them. I mean, that's the big thing, I guess, is that if they can still get in to the items that they need, it doesn't stop that timing push that they're going to want to hit. I do worry, though, that if maybe LFY start moving around, finding more of these pickoffs, that's going to put a hamper on their timing, and then they fall into a position where they're always playing from behind. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. That one hurt.
Sorry, S4.
Don't worry, nobody saw it. It's fine.
Well, yeah. Well, No-Tail's going to have... He's going to pick up the SNY, but they have SNY, Vlad's. That's a really big peak. Another one is going to be when he finishes up the BKB as well. OG seemed to just be pretty content to play around No-Tail's farm at this point.
They do have that Blink Dagger for the Legion
the
Commander. And
surprise
there's a jump up in the top lane already there. Monet is going to be turned upon the Legion Commander. Waveform forward, excuse me, the Lina, and she is going to end up dropping in a second, possibly? Maybe not. They can't quite kill him off. And the snowball forward and going to be able to get the Walrus Punch onto White. The rest of LFY is wrapping around. I don't know if this is a bait so much as just trying not to be a desperate situation. They are able to kill off that Morphling. Static Storm a little bit too late, and now I don't know if they're going to be able to find these kills. Coddle gets the Blinding Light pushback. Super is going to try and chase him down, but they've already lost the 2 cores, so to me, this is a kill you have to get, but it's really not that worth it.
Yeah, losing their Morphling was really bad. To be fair, though, they should have lost their Morphling a lot sooner. The missed LSA there from Ana really hurt them a lot. They were looking to just quickly get a burst kill on a Morphling and then move from there. All around, a little bit rocky for both teams, but LFY, they've got the Veil of Discord coming in for this Ember Spirit, and he has the Boots of Travel. All their timings seem to be solid. They just have to weather the mid game where the Troll... This Troll's going to just be a monster. You know, he's going to get his SNY. He's going to have a huge stat pool. He's going to survive through burst damage, and he's going to have the attack damage to burrow down towers and get a lot of map control.
Coddle did so much in this fight, too. That Blinding Light, it allowed Ana to stay alive a lot longer.
Yeah.
So necessary. But nonetheless, still there was, you know, a good couple of kills there, and you know, Ana dying so quickly and then immediately coming back again. The respawn time there.
Man, that Static Storm was so close to being really good.
Yeah, I know.
It was like 3 heroes, and the Kinetic Field just couldn't lock them in time, and all of them managed to get out. Lincoln, Simone is almost there. He can start split pushing a lot more aggressively once he does have that item. He'd have to worry a little bit about the Magnus RP. But other than that, no other real big threats from OG until they have maybe Shadowblade and maybe even a Yules to break the Lincolns or something like that.
The other thing to keep in mind, you almost have the blade mail completed on that Legion. Only needs that one last component, only about 1,000 gold away. And 40 dual damage. This is a hero that can get out of control very quickly. And if you get to the point where you can solo pick off supports with one duel and don't even need somebody else, the Coddle, even the Lina is just going to have a really tough time.
Yeah, for sure.
LPC Midas as well on that Disruptor.
Can't blame him too much for it. Ag's upgrade is on Disruptors oftentimes looked as just kind of like luxury. Like, yeah, if you can get it, that's really cool and everything, but it's not really the point of the hero. But I do believe LFY are planning to push this game pretty late. And they'd like their Disruptor to remain as relevant as possible.
So how do you think OG are feeling about this game right now? Are they still in at least a somewhat comfortable spot because they've got like the Empower Troll to fall back upon? Or is that kind of a little bit too not good enough compared to what the Morphlene's doing?
I feel like both teams are kind of comfortable just because we haven't hit that big moment where OG should take over the game, and how successfully they do so, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. As the Coddle just drops there in the jungle. S4, they're diving for this one, man. Just saying, not afraid of anything, and it's going to be contained inside the shards now. He's blocked off from the rest of his team. They do drop the Static Storm, a little bit of a zoning one. Not often you say that unironically, but actually was.
Yeah, I kind of saved Jinxing, I guess. I think he just kind of hoped that didn't really have the vision over there that he was going to catch somebody and help save his buddy at the same time. Not really the case, though. Morphling bounces back up to top lane, which is pushing in. I think Troll, does he have his S&Y coming in? Yeah, the same just coming in now. So with the S&Y complete, that's the big stat upgrade with the healthy amount of strength that he has. Oh, they're actually going to try and get a quick kill now.
They're on top of him. A good pushback, though, means that not all those remnants hit. They still find the kill. There's going to be the RP. S4 trying to turn this, but No-Tail's already down. So they are going to lose two for the side of LFY in the midst of all that craziness. It looked for a second like it was actually going better for them, but they find another kill onto LPC. So OG able to turn that back around.
Yeah, you could see it's just like that was the Troll. They had a hard time killing the Troll before he actually had the Sange in his inventory. I think he picked it up like halfway through. It's just like this hero is going to be really tough for them to be able to crack. And even when they get the right kind of initiation, they blow everything they have on him, he still doesn't fall immediately. So this is the problem that I kind of foresaw that was going to be coming up for LFY.
Yeah.
But this is also just the timing of the lineup. LFY have plenty of options to play around. They can go ahead and split push pretty heavily. They're going to also see if they could break apart OG and make some smoke plays here and there. That's another duel.
Yeah, they're there on top of him. Going to be able to secure that one. Last time the Troll Warlord ended up getting the dual damage, but up to 50 more now for Juicing and getting, again, closer to that Blade Mail. Still a little ways away. Last set of creep waves should be able to secure it, though.
5 successful duels by 20 minutes is really impressive. This is like the hero for Juicing. This is the hero that he's known for the most, and we're really seeing why. He has a knack for finding these openings and is going to translate into a third core really nicely. Sometimes you see Legion commanders and they just fall off late game because what happens is they didn't get the dual damage early, and it just, if you get that early dual damage, allows you to start snowballing, you get more and more dual damage, etc. So it looks like this game is going to be a great game. They can rely on this here for the late game. It does put a lot more pressure on OG, reaching about 40, 45 minutes. They got to be thinking, can this single core Troll really hold up when we're dealing with 3 cores that are all going to scale really well?
Yeah, Radiant scan there, and they realize that people are heading down to try and deal with No-Tail. He's still going to stick around in this area.
Uh-oh.
Maybe not anticipating that LPC is there. There's the glimpse
That
back.
was not the glimpse play.
Well, they still have vision on him, but yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. They're not going to be able to find it because of that.
That's the second glimpse that has been really bad. The last one was on the Tuscan mid. It didn't look really bad, but he could have gotten an extra free kill if he had just waited on the glimpse timing a little bit more and pulled the Tusk back into Wukong's command. He just used it too early. That one obviously helping the Troll escape.
Well, you win some, you lose some, as Lena finishing off that Bloodstone, up to 15 charges as well, and has that damage talent now. So Anna going to continue to scale and become a stronger right-click damage dealing hero. There was some movement towards Roche earlier, but OG not wanting to step too far forward and put themselves in a precarious spot. Still, the storyline is Monet farming.
Yeah, how was he sitting on now? Ghost Scepter, working on that Ethereal Blade. What's nice in this game is that Ethereal Blade is not just like the extra bit of burst damage when you get a dual target or something like that, but it can be a saving mechanism for whoever the troll is going on. He could actually save an ally by putting them in the ethereal state. Well, it could also leave them exposed to Lena and Kato, but you know, sometimes you gotta make some risky plays like that.
I'm with you. That Blade Mail, too, just going to be so effective against the Troll. To mention the Lena eventually, too, that sort of glass cannon type of hero that we've been seeing her turn into. But I'm kind of feeling, again, like LFY, do they need to just try and play the pickoff game constantly? Like, do you need to focus down any one particular hero, or is it just based off of whoever shows in the lane?
I think it's more about what opportunities present themselves when you've split pushed and OG break apart. So whenever you can get bottom lane and top lane pushed out, naturally OG are going to have to show probably 2 heroes, and that's where your openings present themselves. I don't think there's any one here. Like, obviously, they'd love to be able to kill the troll, but oftentimes, he's going to be tough to crack, and there's oftentimes going to be allies surrounding him. Lena would be a great, real quick 1-2, but Anna's not really playing on map unless he's got heroes around him. Very similar scenario to the troll. So, I think they just continue to farm. If they see an opportunity for a pickoff, it's great, but instead, just keep Morphlin. Go, go, go.
I really like the Lena build this time. We've seen a couple different variations of it. OP tends to go for the Shadow Blade after the Bloodstone, but this one into the Yules to save yourself, but also immediately afterwards into the Boots of Travel, so that way you can die in the midst of a fight and then get right back into it. So it's like that 6th hero. And also you get the heals over for the rest of your team. Yeah,
he's got to address some of the split pushing that the Ember Spirit is going to be doing. So I also like the Boots of Travel quite a bit. The Yules is helpful, and it'll help deal with the Lincolns of the Morphling, but I did kind of think Shadowblade was necessary to deal with both Morphling and Ember Spirit. They're both quick reaction escape heroes.
I don't know if this is necessarily the fight that LFY want to take. They're going to go for the duel, but there's going to be the RP trying to turn it back around, but Tusk is already gone. Wukong's command comes out as well. Jinxing starting to follow, is going to die, but Monet able to take one in return, so no tail going to be dropped down. That glimpse a little bit better than previous ones, and Fly is going to fall because of it. Monet with the triple kill, almost completing his E-Blade. He is getting stacked up.
I actually didn't see how LFY made that read to rotate so many heroes up to the top lane. Like, OG, they wanted to get aggressive and find a pickoff, and that's why they grouped up. I'm just not sure why LFY had so many heroes rapidly rotating up to that top lane and be in that vicinity. How they made that read, but it was definitely a solid one. Wins them a big team fight. Can actually take an objective themselves here, it looks like, is still another 18 seconds on that troll.
Yeah, and doing a lot of damage. You can see again, Jarek's trying to bait this out, and there are a lot of heroes over in the area, but LFY realize what's going to come, and everybody in the area, a nice little boundless strike. Oh, beautiful display. I thought that it was going to be a little bit better with that RP, but...
Yeah, they just didn't have the immediate follow-up there. Triple kill from Monet. Man, this Morphling's, yeah, he's out of control now. He's got the Ethereal Blade. Like, he's got the burst damage. He can blow up some of these squishier supports. And a 1-2 with a little bit of assistance from a support, he can even blow up cores. This is the OG nightmare.
And Troll Warlord still a good distance away from his BKB as well. Is going to be looking towards that Mithril Hammer next, but in the meantime, he's just a walking target. He's still fairly tanky, but... yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, like, comparatively, I think when you have BKB on Troll, that is the strongest he will be. Like, obviously, he'll still scale into late game pretty well, but if you compare him to what LFY have in their pool and how they're going to be scaling into late game, that is their biggest peak for the Trolls. So OG got to get a lot accomplished, in my opinion, in that window. LFY are going to continue to put pressure on OG. They just won a significant team fight in top, and they're not going to give OG a whole lot of time to recover, perhaps in part because that BKB is still down. They do have RP, though, on S4.
Sigil goes out. S4 is
They caught
there.
him.
The duel immediately. They're all over these guys. Static Storm is down as well, but I'm not sure if it's going to end up being enough. LFY all over these guys. No Tail trying to find this kill. Onto just saying is going to be able to kill him back, and now the skewer onto 2. S4 with the plays, able to find it. Monet trying to get out, does manage to get up to the high ground, but is he going to be able to TP away? No. They take him down. 4 kill streak is broken by No Tail. That's a hell of a lot of gold to him.
It is tough to push into a team that has Lina, you know, because what happened there is they actually Monet popped Anna.
Yeah.
Like he got to that back line, he killed him, and Anna instantly revived.
Yeah.
So it's like they had 2 buybacks. One was Anna instantly reviving, and then S4 actually buying back and getting that RP that resulted in this skewer, and obviously ended up winning them the team fight. But LFY, you got to be a little bit more cautious diving into those tier 2s against a Lina strategy like this.
Let's watch the Lina death and then immediately coming back. Hey guys, we're here.
He's like, back. All right, I'm TPing in. Instant buyback from S4 as well. He gets that 2-man RP in the back line.
I mean, this is why they take this hero with the Troll Warlord, too, because you talk about that timing they're going to hit where he gets his BKB complete and they're going to be so much stronger. It's accentuated by the Lina. It's so good. But also, LFY are going to realize that that's a thing, and I'm assuming try and play around the fights and avoid them whenever possible. Go for split push game.
Man, you could see how far ahead he was, because when he got hit by that RP, I was like, all right, he's done. And he almost made it. He waveformed over the cliff. He TP'd out. He almost made it. It was like maybe a second shy of being able to get back to base. And the fact that they did actually kill Monet meant so much to OG. If they failed in that, it would have been a buyback kind of wasted, you know?
Absolutely.
And they need that progression. They need the progression for S4. Like, S4 actually may need to turn into a little bit more damage dealer later on. Obviously, he needs to focus on his positioning right now. The Shadow Blade is still the best option for him right now, but I'm talking later into the game, he may actually have to pick up some BKB and try and be that right-click Magnus that we've seen in the early days of 7.0.
So, Cap, we've got this Aegis here on Troll Warlord. He has got Empower, Sanjin Yasha, BKB completed. You said it doesn't get a whole lot more powerful than that. What are the objectives that you feel like he needs to take over the next couple minutes? Is it all of the Tier 2 towers? Is it just like 1 or 2 of them? Or is it more just dependent on how much farm they can get out of the map?
And again, it's like, I think a couple of Tier 2s. Not sure if all of them is really possible. I think Artus is dead. Dead. Just save him.
Oh?
No, he's going to
my
TP
God.
out.
I got him. They're all over him.
I was going to say, just kind of leave him until G-Sing is there to be able to get the dual damage, you know? It's just like, you know, just save him as this leftover that G-Sing can gobble up for the extra duel. But they did have to stop that TP. So they get the pick off. Disruptor plays it safe just at the right time as OG were looking for a counter kill there.
Yeah. We've seen occasionally FN go for something on the Troll Warlord too that's been like a Blink Dagger type of play to get really aggressive. Looks like No Tail feeling like he needs to be able to deal with that duel, which makes a lot of sense. And now moving from lane to lane, I mean, it's a lot of damage with the Lina mixed in the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, just trading Tier 2s is okay for LFY. Again, I don't think they should be too eager to contest this Troll Warlord. He's got BKB and an Ultimate Orb. He's sitting at 2,500 HP. They are mass TPing back, but this Tier 2 tower is already gone. I don't think they should try and stretch it too much.
And there's still 2 minutes left on this Aegis. OG have been getting on their horse, moving around the map.
Yep, so they've got 2 of the... They're all 3 Tier 2s were up, right? So they've gotten 2 out of 3 so far with this Aegis. See if they can pick up that 3rd one. Though I would actually prefer them to try and go high ground instead of working their way across the map, since they do have only a limited amount of time with this Aegis. It doesn't look like they like that idea, though.
Yeah. I mean, they need to maintain that pressure. It's interesting, though, because you do have the recall from Coddle.
Yeah, so maybe they will actually still keep it up.
Is he close to Aghanim Scepter at this point, the Coddle?
Yeah, he's 900. Oh, no. He actually had the extra bit there, so.
This is a really great time.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes.
They're there. Walrus Punch to start this. Snowballing through, dealing damage. LFY, are the wheels coming off? That's 60 seconds with no Legion Commander. They're going to go high ground with this.
Did OG just find a win?
What?
Maybe. This
All
is
right.
going to be really close.
Monet pops the BKB. He turns to fight White, trying to get out of there. OG pulling one, a fast one. They're going to run down Super here as well. They're on to Monet. He's switching over. The Lincoln Sphere has already been popped, and there's going to be the Static Storm down, trying to still kill this guy off. There's going to be the Laguna Boy. They find the kill. He's buying back, but that's also going to be no Monkey King for another 35 seconds. All right, there's no BKB here for No Tail, but he does still have that
The
Aegis.
Aegis
There's
is
the remnant
about to
forward.
wear out. Oh, man, if they could have just saved it for a little bit longer.
All right, round 2, ding, 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 going in for it. Another jump forward, Monet, but there's RP! They take him down. Ana gonna look for a killing spree, and they are gonna be able to find it. 4 dead, 90 seconds, no Morphling.
Oh, LFY, you had to. This is like the timing. Like, OG, they're the strongest. I think comparatively, this is the strongest that they could be, and it's just over. Oh, no.
Off the back of some good decision makings, a couple pickoffs in S4.
Oh, no.
What a play. OG remained perfect.
I mean, props to OG, right? They set themselves up to really capitalize on that kind of mistake, right?
Yeah.
They didn't rotate with the Aegis and try and go for